All right, let's talk. If you're a lawyer, an attorney, or any kind of seasoned legal pro, and you're thinking about what comes next, I've got something you really need to hear. You are sitting on one of the most valuable and, believe it or not, most poorly marketed skill sets in the entire business world. So we're going to dive into exactly how to unlock that incredible value you're sitting on.
And if you're wondering why you should stick around, well, let's just get right to it. $95,000. What is that? Well, that's the average, yes, average compensation increase for legal pros who learn how to properly position themselves for the corporate world. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about changing the language you use to describe the powerhouse professional you already are.
You know, this quote right here, it really says it all. You are literally sitting on a gold mine of skills. Just think about it for a second. Your brain is wired for deep analysis, for high-stakes negotiation, for seeing risk where other people see nothing. In the business world, these are superpowers. So the problem has never, ever been about your talent. It's always been about translation. It's a marketing problem.
So, you might be asking yourself, hey, if my skills are so great, why isn't my phone ringing off the hook with corporate offers? That is a fantastic question. And the answer is that it comes down to these 4 big barriers. These walls that get put up between your expertise and the people who desperately need it. Let's break them down.
Okay, first up, jargon lock-in. You're speaking fluent legalese, but the business world speaks, well, business. It's like you're speaking a completely different language. Then there's firm-centric framing. Everything on your resume screams, I work at a law firm, not I solve expensive business problems. And then there's a really painful one, the overqualification trap. People see JD next to your name and they think, oh, they're too specialized, or they probably just want to be a lawyer here. It's crazy, right? And finally, there's narrow positioning. You might even see yourself as just a lawyer, when in reality, you're a master strategist, a negotiator, a crisis manager. You get the picture.
But hey, here's the good news. There is a key that unlocks all of this, and that key is translation. We're going to talk about how to take what you do, let's say regulatory compliance, and reframe it as something much bigger, like strategic risk management. This simple shift in language, well, it's everything. It is the secret to getting those amazing corporate roles.
Okay, let's get into some real-world examples, because this is where it gets good. Look at this. The before is managed complex litigation. Fine, whatever. But the after? Wow, led high-stakes dispute resolution. You coordinated teams, you slashed potential damages by a massive 75%, and you saved key business relationships. You see that? One is a job duty. The other? That's a story of business impact. It's a win.
Here's another one, and this one hits right on the money, literally. You didn't just draft and negotiate contracts. Come on, that is selling yourself so short. No, you led complex contract negotiations that drove over $50 million in strategic partnerships. You sped things up by 40%. And best of all, you locked in terms that brought in an extra $8 million in revenue. All of a sudden, you're not legal overhead anymore, are you? No, you're a profit center.
And for our last big example, let's talk compliance. The old way of saying it, ensured regulatory compliance. Okay, sounds dutiful. The new way? You developed a corporate governance framework. You jacked up governance scores by 85%, and you cut administrative costs by 1/3. This is huge. You're not just a box checker, you are a strategic architect, building the very systems that protect and guide the entire company.
So once you start talking this new language, where can you actually go? Well, it opens up these amazing career paths called JD Advantage roles. And just like the name says, these are jobs where having a JD isn't a weird liability, it's your secret weapon. It is your competitive edge. And yeah, they often come with better pay and a much better work-life balance. Let's check out the top 4 paths.
First up, business development and sales. I mean, think about it. Who is better equipped to navigate a complex, multi-million-dollar deal than someone literally trained in negotiation, risk assessment, and contracts? You're not just a salesperson pushing a product, you're the architect of the entire partnership. It is such a natural fit.
Next up, we have operations and compliance. Your brain is already hardwired for this. You build systems, you create processes, you make sure everything works perfectly inside a maze of rules and regulations. That's not just compliance, that's the absolute core of what great operations leaders do.
Path number 3 is a big one, consulting and advisory.
Seriously, what do consultants really do? They take a messy, complex problem, they analyze it from every single angle, and then they deliver a clear strategic path forward. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, that has been your day job for years.
And finally, path 4, the C-suite, executive leadership. Your ability to think strategically, to manage incredibly difficult stakeholders, and to see the big picture makes you the perfect partner for CEOs and other leaders, especially when it comes to massive moves like mergers, acquisitions, and major growth plans.
Now, I know what some of you are thinking, especially those coming from a traditional law firm, but I don't have corporate experience. I'm here to tell you, yes, you do. You've just been calling it something else. We need to look at your work through 3 new lenses: client relationship management, business origination, and complex project leadership.
This is so important. You didn't just manage client matters. That sounds administrative. No, you were an account executive. You managed a book of business. You developed strategic client relationships. You kept 95% of them happy, and you were responsible for $2.5 million in annual revenue. Now that's his language that gets a hiring manager to sit up and pay very close attention. Okay, so you get the why and you get the what. Now for the how. Let's break this down into a super simple 5-step action plan to get you moving from where you are today to that next great role.
Here it is. It's a straightforward process. Step 1. Do a skills translation audit. Figure out what your business skills actually are. Step 2. Research the roles you want. What language do they use? Step 3. Completely restructure your resume. Out with the old, in with the business-focused new. Step 4, and this one is critical, quantify your achievements. And finally, Step 5, position that JD as the massive asset it truly is.
I want to zoom in on Step 4 for a second, because honestly, if you only do one thing from this whole explainer, do this. Quantify everything. Numbers are the universal language of business. Every single thing you've accomplished needs a metric. A dollar amount, a percentage, a time saved. You didn't just win a case. You resolved a $15 million dispute and saved the company 75% in damages. See? Numbers scream impact in a way that words just can't.
So, as we start to wrap up, that's the question I want to leave you with. It's simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Take a minute and really think about it. Based on everything you have accomplished, how are you going to start reframing your value?
And look, the really great news is you don't have to figure all this out by yourself. This translation work is exactly what tools like Pass the Scan are built for. It uses AI to basically do that skills audit for you. It finds the legal jargon that gets your resume screened out, and it helps you rewrite your accomplishments in a way that corporate systems and recruiters will absolutely love. It's all about positioning that JD for the win.